Concerns are growing in NATO that Beijing may be considering supplying arms to Moscow's war effort. China's growing alignment with Russia is on the agenda today in Brussels. The alliance's former foreign ministers, the NATO foreign ministers, are meeting today for a second day of talks. Yesterday, Finland officially joined NATO. The move, prompted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, changes the alliance's security structures along its eastern flank. Helsinki has one of the strongest land-based militaries in Europe and has a 1,300-kilometer-long border with Russia. Joined now by DW correspondent Rosie Berchard, who is following NATO's second day of talks in Brussels. Rosie, I understand you've spoken with a number of foreign ministers there. What are they telling you?
Well, I spoke first of all to the foreign minister of NATO's newest member, Finland. I asked him, what does it feel like to be part of this Western military alliance? And he said he had plenty of messages over the past 24 hours. People in Finland, he said, that told him they were popping champagne corks. And now the message here from NATO members is that with Finland now officially welcomed into the fold, the alliance is stronger militarily and politically. And of course, they do have other challenges, plenty of other challenges still to tackle, not least, of course, that war which continues to rage in Ukraine, and that is never far from the minds of ministers here in Brussels. Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly said it's important to have a conversation about Ukraine's future, about security guarantees, about potential security engagements, she said, even beyond the end of this war. She said after Ukraine's victory. That is something, Terry, which will likely be music to the ears of officials in Kiev. Meanwhile, Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, well, she put the emphasis beyond NATO's borders. She said NATO needs to engage more with like-minded partners, and that is very much the order of the day here.
So that's a little insight ahead of the meeting today. What will be discussed at today's meeting?
Well, crucially, NATO ministers are holding talks with what they call their Asia-Pacific partners. That includes the Foreign Minister of Japan, who's here in person, the Foreign Minister of New Zealand. China, of course, is not here, but you can be sure, Terry, that that is certainly up for discussion among these ministers. NATO only defined its relationship with Beijing, or how it views its ties with Beijing, last year. It says that China is a challenge to NATO's security, to its interests, not quite defined as a threat, but certainly as a challenge. And now the words of the day really here in Brussels are de-risking. Germany's foreign minister also said it's important for European countries to de-risk rather than decouple from China. That sounds like a lot of jargon, but basically it's about saying maintaining ties on some fronts while also trying to take into account the security challenges that China might pose, not least given the fact that these ministers are eyeing warily signs of a deepening friendship between Moscow and Beijing. Now, as ministers gather here, there is a very important delegation heading to China, and that is French President Emmanuel Macron, and NATO leader himself. He is taking with him the President of the EU's executive, Ursula von der Leyen, and no fewer than at least 50 business leaders. So we've heard those words, de-risk rather than decouple. Let's see how that actually comes out in actions.
Now, Sweden applied to join NATO the same time that Finland did. There's talk, Rosie, of Sweden becoming a NATO member in July. How likely is that?
Well, Sweden and Finland applied to join this alliance together last year, but Sweden's bid has been caught up in a political tiff with Turkey, as Turkey has in the past accused Sweden essentially of offering safe haven to terrorists. That is something Sweden denies, and I spoke to Sweden's foreign minister here, and he said that he had had a talk with his Turkish counterpart and that he had reassured him that there would be new legislation coming in Finland on that topic of counter-terrorism. He said that was welcomed by Turkey's foreign minister. Now, there is a crucial NATO summit coming up later in the year, around June, so that really could be the moment to watch, because that is also the month that this new Swedish legislation will kick in. So it could be that before long, Terry, there is yet another new flag added to this row of flags behind me, with Sweden on its way also to join the alliance if Turkey and Hungary, which is still blocking, agree to ratify that membership bid.
Rosie, thank you very much. Our correspondent Rosie Berchard there in Brussels. Well, for more on this, let's cross over to our correspondent, Jennifer Palka. She's in Riga, Latvia. Jennifer, Finland joining NATO reverses decades of military non-alignment. What reactions are you seeing to that?
Well, Terry, of course, Russia's reaction to Finland joining NATO, to put it bluntly, is quite negative. Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu said that this move is raising the prospect of actually escalating the conflict in Ukraine further. But he also said that this could damage the already strained relationship between Russia and the West. He also stated that Russia would be forced to take countermeasures. But when asked what these countermeasures would look like, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that they will carefully observe what will happen in Finland. What he means with that is, quote, how NATO will exploit the territory of Finland in terms of placing weapons and infrastructure there. And according to this, then Russia would be forced to take measures. Peskov also said that Finland joining NATO is an encroachment on Russia's security and national interest. But at the same time, he tried to downplay Finland joining NATO, saying that this is a completely different case in comparison to Ukraine. And the reason for that is that, according to him, Finland isn't as anti-Russian as Ukraine is.
Now, Finland joined NATO in response to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year. Is Finland's NATO membership likely to change anything regarding the war in Ukraine?
Well, Russia's President Vladimir Putin more than once actually had cited opposition to NATO's eastward enlargement as one of the justifications for the full-scale invasion in Ukraine. And while he invaded Ukraine even before Finland and Sweden decided to join NATO. But now, as a result of the war, Finland joined NATO and the alliance's border with Russia will double. So as I said before, Defense Minister Shoigu said that there might be an escalation of the conflict in Ukraine, but he didn't elaborate on that. So we will have to see and wait if he will become more specific.
Jennifer, thank you very much. Our correspondent, Jennifer Palka, there in Riga.